Hey guys, so today we're doing another customization video on the Pagasi Infernus Classic, right? Which is based on the Lamborghini Diablo, but I'm doing it in a slightly different way. So as you can see, I'm already doing stuff before even talking about it because I've recorded this and I'm doing a commentary over it. So yeah, I'm just gonna try it out and see if it goes well. So basically, as you can see, I'm first off doing like the performance upgrades and the suspension. So just basically making the car like perform better. I mean, I actually forgot brakes, but I think I do them at the end. So I decided to respray it before I do anything else. Because then you can get a better sense of what your bodywork is going to look like. Say you get like a secondary splitter or something, then it's going to look better when you've got your actual colours on, because it comes in bright pink off the podium, which is, well, kind of poo looking. So I'm doing the matte pearlescent glitch for the nice blue and pinkish colour that I really like. It creates like a really shiny purple. Um, that I think I call it Ocean Galaxy or something. Like, I have a name for it, but I don't remember what it is. I've got it wrote down somewhere. But yeah, I call it Ocean Galaxy, I think. I think it's a really nice colour, and I think it actually quite suits this car as well. Like the way that the colour gets brought out by the different like shapes on the car. So I've decided to go with a bright, like matte ice white pearlescent. I think I go with like a dark blue on the interior because it suits the outside, but I don't want it to just be the same blue. So the dark blue is a little bit nicer to have as the inside. Now this car took me ages to get doing the wheel glitch where you close the application. If it's not the thing that you want, it actually, I don't know why, but it took me about 4 hours to get it. It just wouldn't give me it for like no reason, it just wouldn't give me it. But here's where I start on the actual customization of the car itself, like the body of it. I quite like those fins because it suits the bit just above it, so you're next to the window. Um, then I think I move on to doing the exhausts. Obviously you got to get them burnt titanium tip looking things because they're pretty beautiful, and also I quite like how they look because it makes it look like the exhausts have been used a lot, which obviously means it's a fast car. I mean, it doesn't. Don't know why I even said that, but you know. So I couldn't decide whether to go with like a pinkish underglow to match the pearlescent shine or a blue one, but I ended up going with a blue one to match the actual like base colour of the car. Now I just put the secondary skirts on like I do with most cars because I think secondary skirts looks nice, and same with the bumper. I put on like a secondary looking, I don't know, it kind of looks like an M shape but like a bit of a deformed M. And I couldn't really decide with what spoiler to go with. I decided that the last one, although it's cool, is far too big. So I'll put on this more, like, I mean, I did kind of want a painted one, but I didn't really like the shapes of the painted ones as opposed to that one, because that one's quite nice in like how it's actually raised off the car and stuff as well, as opposed to being like attached at the sides, if you know what I mean. Now for the wheels, as I said in the past, I always go with low rider rims, because I think that tyre design thing where you put like a little rim around the tyres looks beautiful, especially when you've got your secondary colour as white and the skirts are white, because it like looks like it feeds into the wheels that are that have then got the white outline on them. I think it just adds a bit more variety to the tyres rather than them just looking like, I don't know, just bits of rubber, which is what they are. I really like how the back opens there, although sadly you're not able to actually do that with the like vehicle remote functions. You see a bit later on that I attempt to open that like using the vehicle remote functions. Oh my god, I can't speak. And then I even aim my gun at it to point out like, look at, I'm trying to open that but I can't. Now when this car's on the podium it looks a bit crap, but when you actually have the vehicle itself and you customise it and stuff, I think it ended up looking really nicely. Now obviously I'm a big fan of Lamborghinis. I don't know why I said obviously, it's not easy to know that, but yeah, I really like Lamborghinis. Hurricanes are my favourite, and for a while I had a Tempesta, but I got rid of it because I think I needed money or something. But yeah, this thing is beautiful. Obviously it's not my favourite Lamborghini because I think the front does look kind of strange. It still looks nice and I still really like it, but it's not my favourite. The Hurricane's my favourite, but yeah, I quite like how the back looks on this. It looks the tiniest bit like a Ford GT, the back, which obviously it's not because the Bullet is a Ford GT, but it is kind of similar. Now this is, I believe it's the, what was it now? Infernus Classic, that's it. I was just trying to remember which actual car it was in game. It's owned by Pegassi, as I said earlier, like at the start of the video. Now Pegassi are kind of I don't know why it cut there, but it did. Yeah, Pegassi are kind of the Lamborghini of GTA 5. You'll notice if you get like a Tempesta, it's Pegassi. The Oppressor and stuff's actually made by Pegassi, which is kind of strange. I thought they'd have a different brand, because obviously it's a flying bike, isn't it? Although apparently not. But yeah, the Tempesta is, I think that the Zentorno is Pegassi, although I'm not 100% sure. This is obviously Pegassi, as I've already said, and this is, I'd say, one of the best looking sports classics in my opinion. Now, as you can see, I'm doing what I normally do, where I take it to the airport for a bit of a drag strip test, and I've been careful not to crash. There's a look at the interior, taking a quick look at the speedometer. Oh yeah, it says Pegassi on the steering wheel as well, which I think is quite a nice touch. Just kind of makes the steering wheel look not as boring. Now, this is me lining up for the drag strip test, but I don't actually, I mean, these aren't very scientific tests. I don't use a timer or anything. I just kind of decide in my head, like, oh yeah, this is fast compared to the other cars. Now, I do like how this handles. I don't know if you was paying too much attention to how I was driving, but when I was driving, I was doing some pretty risky manoeuvres, and it works well. Now, that's what annoys me. That back bit doesn't open, so I've considered removing it, although I feel that could look a tiny bit stupid, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I might just leave it this way, because them white panels match the rest of the car. This is me trying to work out how to do this back bit, and before I knew it, oh wait, you can't do it. But even with the back bit, the car's still pretty beautiful. Look, I go to HUD, and I'm like, oh wait, no, that's the, it would be the back, but it's not opening. And look at me, and I say, like, why won't you open? This is where I actually get into doing like a strip test on how fast it actually travels. Now, it's kind of difficult to see what the speedometer reads, but I think it got up to like 110-ish. Also, I'll kind of go out with first person for a bit just to see it driving, look at it from different angles while it's driving. It's a pretty big car, and it's quite wide compared to most of the other cars. You notice that it looks like it's quite low as well. Like, it's low to the ground, just the shape of the roof and stuff as well, not even just the suspension. You can see it's just not a tall car, and it's also really wide. So it looks a bit squashed, but I think that looks really cool. And also, besides the Ferrari F40, maybe I've not really got any other cars that look like that. So I think it's a quite nice to see quite a flat car compared to the other cars in my garage. Now, I actually have a really cool car in my garage that I'll be showing you soon in a different video, and that is a fun car, but I won't spoil the surprise, I won't say what it is. Now, here I've tried to flip it over with the up and atomizer as I normally do, to see the underside, but you see, I don't know why, but for some reason this time the car decided that it just wanted to do side flips and not go on its roof. It nearly went on its roof many times, but no, it kept going onto its wheels. Now, eventually get it on the roof, about 2 shots away from being destroyed. After the video ended, I tried to flip the car back over, but I ended up destroying it because it took me ages to try and flip it with the up and atomizer. It just didn't want to work for some reason. Like, I don't know why, but it just felt like, you know what, I don't want to flip on my roof today. Now, the doors actually didn't come off, which was kind of surprising. Here, I'll accidentally launch myself, which is pretty funny. Sometimes I just run up to people and launch the up and atomizer at the ground and knock us both flying. It's pretty funny. I keep trying different angles as well to try and get it to flip properly, but it just won't. There we go. Finally get it there, and then you see the underside is, well, it just looks like the underside of most of the cars. Looks kind of cool, but I mean, yeah, it's just kind of standard. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Just wanted to do that, try out my new commentary style, let me know what you think. And yeah, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.